So, in the last class, we were studying the classification of colloids based on the physical state of the dispersed phase and dispersion medium. Number 2, affinity between the dispersed phase and dispersion medium, and based on the type and size of dispersed phase particles. So, the third type, based on the type or size of dispersed phase particles. Colloids are classified into three types, namely, number 1, multimolecular colloids. Number 2, macromolecular colloids. And lastly, associated colloids. Associated colloids are also called as micelles. So, coming to multimolecular colloids, in multimolecular colloids, smaller particles like atoms or molecules or aggregates are associated to the size of colloidal particles and dispersed in another medium. So, here in the aggregated particles, the atoms or molecules are held by weak van der Waals forces, and they are leophobic in nature and having lower masses. Examples: gold sol, sulfur sol, etc. comes under multimolecular colloids. And the second type is macromolecular colloids. In these colloids, macromolecules or polymers are dissolved in suitable solvents such that the size of the colloidal particles is between 1 nanometer and 1000 nanometer and distributed in another medium. Here, the atoms or molecules in these particles are held by strong chemical bonds. They are leophilic in nature and also molecular mass is high. Examples coming to natural polymer macromolecules like starch, cellulose, proteins, enzymes, etc. and also artificial polymers like nylon, terylene, etc. When dissolved in suitable solvents, we will get a colloidal solution. So, then coming to the last type, that is known as associated colloids or micelles. Associated colloids, they are also called as micelles. So, this is the third type based on the type and size of dispersed phase particles. Some substances behave as normal strong electrolytes at lower concentration. Some substances behave as normal strong electrolytes at lower concentration and as colloidal particles at higher concentration due to the aggregation of particles. Some substances behave as normal strong electrolytes at lower concentration and as colloidal particles at higher concentration due to the aggregation of particles. These aggregated particles, aggregated or associated particles, are called micelles. And the colloidal solutions are called associated colloids. So at higher concentration, some substances behave as colloidal particles due to the aggregation, and the aggregated particles are called micelles, and the colloidal solution obtained is called associated colloids. So in each micelle contain a minimum of 100 molecules. That means at higher concentration, these particles aggregates or associate to form what are called as micelles. These micelles contains a minimum of 100 molecules. So coming to the characteristics, number 1, so in micelles, the particles are held by strong van der Waals forces. In micelles, the particles are held by strong van der Waals forces. In multimolecular colloids, the particles are held by weak van der Waals forces. In macromolecular colloids, the particles are held by strong chemical bonds. In associated colloids or in micelles, the particles are held by strong van der Waals forces. And number 2, they are lyophilic and also lyophilic in nature. Multimolecular colloids are lyophilic in nature. Macromolecular colloids are lyophilic in nature, whereas associated colloids are both lyophilic as well as lyophilic in nature, and they have very high molecular weights. Example for associated colloids: soaps and detergents form associated colloids in water. Soaps and detergents form associated colloids in water. So this is very important. You will be asked, what is associated colloids? What are associated colloids? Some substances behave as strong electrolytes at lower concentration and colloidal particles at higher concentration due to the formation of associated or aggregated particles. These aggregated particles are called micelles. The colloidal solution is known as associated colloids. Each micelle contains a minimum of 100 molecules. So coming to the characteristics of associated colloids, in micelles, the particles are held by strong van der Waals forces, and they have both lyophilic as well as lyophobic in nature, and having high molecular weights. Examples for associated colloids are solutions of soaps and detergents in water. So in associated colloids, you will be asked what is Kraft temperature. Kraft temperature, and number 2 CMC, that is critical missile concentration. Critical missile concentration. What is Kraft temperature? The temperature above which the formation of missile takes place. The temperature above which the formation of missiles takes place is called Kraft temperature. Kraft temperature, and it is designated as TK. Then what is CMC? Critical missile concentration. Both are important and will be asked for 1 mark questions. What is CMC? Critical missile concentration. The concentration above which the formation of missile takes place. Missile takes place is called critical missile concentration. The concentration above which the formation of missiles takes place is called critical missile concentration. So it depends on the nature of the dispersed phase particles. Dispersed phase particles. Dispersed phase particles. So these two are important. Kraft temperature, the temperature above which the formation of missiles takes place. CMC, the concentration above which the formation of missile takes place is called CMC. So CMC depends on the nature of the dispersed phase particles. Now we will study the mechanism of formation of missiles. Mechanism of formation of missiles. So as I have told you, soaps and detergents at lower concentration they behave as strong electrolytes. At higher concentration the molecules associate to form missiles. So now we will know how missiles are formed. First of all, you know what is a soap. Soap is a sodium or potassium salt of long chain fatty acids. Soaps are the sodium or potassium salts of long chain fatty acids. They are represented by the general formula represented as RCOONA or RCOOK, sodium salt of fatty acid. This is potassium salt of fatty acids. Example for soap, sodium stearate. Sodium stearate. What is this formula? C17H35COONA. This is sodium stearate. So it is soap. Second point, soap in water dissociates as RCOONA. This is sodium salt of fatty acid dissociates to give RCOO minus plus Na plus. This is anion and this one is cation. So when soap is added into water, it dissociates to give RCOO minus and Na plus. Then this anion, what is the anion there? RCOO minus. An anion consists of two parts. Anion consists of two parts. One is non-polar part and number two is polar part. Non-polar part and another one is polar part. Say for example, this C17H35COONA, it can be written like this: CH3, this carbon is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and this is O minus. So this is anion. So here this part is called non-polar part. So this is soap molecule. This part is called non-polar part. It is hydrocarbon chain. So this hydrocarbon chain is hydrophobic in nature. Hydrophobic means they don't like water. That means water hating part. So the anion of soap consists of two parts. One is non-polar part and this is called polar part. So this polar part is ionic because it contains ions and it is hydrophilic in nature. That means it likes water athwa water loving. So the anion of soap consists of two parts. This one is organic part. Organic part is hydrophobic in nature. Hydrophobic means it is water hating part and this one is polar part. It is hydrophilic part and it is water loving part. So in general, anion of soap can be written like this. This one is polar head and this one is non-polar tail. The anion of soap. So when soap is added into water, it splits up into RCO minus and Na plus. Na plus in a bitre anion part. This is the anion part consists of two parts, namely non-polar part which is called organic part, which is water hating part, and this one is polar part which is ionic in nature and it is hydrophilic. That means it is water loving part. So this generally we will write the soap molecule like this. Soap molecule consists of polar head and non-polar tail. Non-polar tail is water hating. That means hydrophobic. Polar head is water loving. So non-polar part it is hydrocarbon part or hydrophobic part, that means water hating. And polar part is, this is ionic head, and it is hydrophilic part, that means water loving. So totally I can say that the anion of soap consists of two parts. One is non-polar tail and another part is polar head. Non-polar tail is water hating and polar head is water loving. So now, how the missile will be formed? At lower concentration, what happens? These soap molecules will present at the surface of water, in such that the polar heads, these are polar heads, are underwater and non-polar tails are outside water or above the surface of water. This is surface of water and these are polar heads and these are non-polar tails. So this is in case of, so at lower concentration these soap molecules behave as strong electrolytes. That means these soap molecules will present at the surface of the water such that the polar tails are underwater and the non-polar tails are above the surface of water. Number 2, at CMC or above, at critical missile concentration or above, or at higher concentration, what happens? At higher concentration, these the soap molecules are pulled into the bulk of the solution to form an aggregated spherical shaped, this is spherical shape. So at higher concentration the soap molecules are pulled into the bulk of the solution to form aggregates of spherical shape. These are the aggregates of spherical shape, such that how these molecules are arranged, the polar heads are pointing towards the center of the sphere and the polar heads are out of the sphere. So at higher concentration the soap molecules, that means at higher concentration the anions are pulled into the bulk of the solution to form aggregates. Solution ಒಳಗಡೆ pull ಮಾಡಿ aggregates to form aggregated spherical shape. Aggregated spherical shape formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So how the molecules are arranged? Such that the non-polar tails are pointing towards the center of the sphere and the polar heads are out outward of the sphere, thus the missile is formed. Thus, these spherical shaped aggregates are called missiles. These are called missiles. So, polar heads are outward of the sphere. Thus, the missile is formed. Missile is formed. So, how the missiles are formed? So, at lower concentration, the particles are RCO minus are present at the surface such that COO minus part is in water and R part is outside water. So at lower concentration, the RCOO minus ions, that means the negative ions of soap molecules were arranged at the surface of water such that the polar heads are within water and non-polar head are outside. So next, coming to the cleansing action of soap. When soap water is added into a cloth containing oily or grease materials, say for example this one is cloth and this one is oil drop. When soap water is added into a cloth containing oil drop, the soap molecules will form ionic missiles around these oil drops like these. So suppose this is oil drop. The soap molecules, as I told you, they contain hydrophobic part and hydrophilic part. So this hydrophobic part will stick to the oil and hydrophilic part facing outside the oil drop. So when these hydrophilic parts interact with water, this one is water, what happens? Due to mechanical agitation, this hydrophilic part sticks to water and this hydrophobic part sticks to oil drop. During agitation or vibrating with water, these oil drop will come out along with soap. So this is how soaps are used for the cleaning purpose of cloths. That means cloths cannot be cleaned only by water because water and oils are immiscible liquids. When soap is added into this solution, what soap molecules will form? Soap molecules acts as emulsifying agents between water and oil. That means the soap anion part consists of two parts. One is hydrophobic part and hydrophilic part. Hydrophobic part sticks to the oil drop and hydrophilic part sticks to water, and when during agitation the oil drops come out along with the soap particles and thus the cloth becomes clean. Now coming to the preparation of colloids. Colloids can be prepared by three methods. One is by chemical method. So in chemical method, first we will know the preparation of arsenious sulfide. Arsenious sulfide AS2S3 sol. This is by double decomposition method. So Coming to the preparation of colloids by chemical methods, first method is preparation of arsenious sulfide by double decomposition method. When H2S gas is passed through saturated solution of arsenious oxide. When H2S gas is passed through, this is arsenious oxide solution. So you will get As2S3 Sol plus 3H2O. When H2S gas is passed through saturated solution of arsenious oxide, you will get arsenious sulfide sol. So here this reaction is double decomposition. That means in place of oxygen, sulfur will come, and sulfur will replace the position of oxygen. Therefore, it is called double decomposition. Second method, preparation of sulfur sol by oxidation. When sulfur dioxide gas is passed through solution of hydrogen sulfide in water, we will get sulfur will be precipitated in the form of colloidal particles. So, and you will get water. When sulfur dioxide gas is passed through solution of hydrogen sulfide, we will get yellow colored sol of sulfur. And lastly, preparation of ferric hydroxide sol by hydrolysis. So, when ferric chloride is added into boiling water, we will get ferric hydroxide sol. So when ferric chloride sol is added into boiling water, we will get a yellow ferric hydroxide sol plus HCl. So these are the three chemical methods from which salts colloids can be prepared. One is by double decomposition method, second one is oxidation method, third one is by hydrolysis. By double decomposition method, we can prepare arsenious sulfide salt. By oxidation, we can prepare sulfur salt, and by hydrolysis, we can prepare ferric hydroxide salt. And next, so coming to the second method, preparation of gold salt. From this method, salts of any metals can be prepared. So this method is called Bradig's arc method for the preparation of metal salts. Here the metals, say for example, if I want to prepare gold salt, these are all the gold rods. So these gold rods are dipped in water, which is the dispersion medium containing a little potassium hydroxide solution to stabilize the salt. Potassium hydroxide is added to stabilize, to increase the stability of the salt. And then this dispersion medium is surrounded by freezing mixture, a mixture of ice and water to get lower temperature. When high electric voltage is applied between these two gold rods, an electric arc will be produced. This is called electric arc. So at high temperature of this arc, the metal or the gold vaporizes into atoms and molecules. Then these atoms and molecules will condense in the medium in the form of colloidal particles. So this is how gold rods or gold colloids or colloidal solutions of any metals can be prepared. And then coming to peptization. What is peptization? This is also very important. So preparation of gold sulfide Bradig's arc method. Number 3, peptization. What is peptization? The process of conversion of a freshly prepared precipitate. The process of conversion of freshly prepared precipitate into a colloidal solution by the addition of a small quantity of an electrolyte having a common ion is known as peptization. The electrolyte added is called peptizing agent. Electrolyte added is called peptizing agent. So for example, suppose this is freshly prepared precipitate of ferric hydroxide. So this is precipitate of ferric hydroxide. So to this precipitate, if a little ferric chloride solution is added and stirred well, you will get a colloidal solution of ferric hydroxide. So colloidal solution of ferric hydroxide. So here freshly prepared precipitate of ferric hydroxide is converted into ferric hydroxide sol by the addition of an electrolyte. Here the electrolyte is ferric chloride. It is called peptizing agent. So this is known as peptization. Conversion of a freshly prepared precipitate into a colloidal solution by the action of an electrolyte having a common ion. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ferric hydroxide ಅಲ್ಲಿ ferric ions ಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Therefore this is the electrolyte having a common ion. Say for example FeOH thrice, this is precipitate. Ferric chloride solution from ferric chloride solution. These ferric ions will adsorb on the precipitate. FeOH thrice, Fe3 plus. So this is positive sol. So during peptization, the common ion of the electrolyte are adsorbed on the surface of the precipitate. Thereby the precipitate is converted into a sol. This process is known as peptization.